Alright, here's what the tranny looks like now. Some of the gallon up parts that we need to rebuild it. This is stuff we had from before. And this is what it all looks like now. So this has all been blasted. I've not cleaned it yet, it's just been blasted. So I need to take it apart now and get all the beads and crap out of it. Make sure it's good. Go from there. So that's what we're doing on that. This is our case. Junk in the way. The light off. Here's our support plate. Don't want to come off, does it? So this needs to have a bearing put in it. Ooh, boy, that thing looks like crap. Forgot to Loctite a bearing into that one. We'll have to see. So the case after all cleaned up. Looks pretty good. Everything looks nice. You just seal up the holes here, or the top of the studs there, so they don't get oil down them. Well, this looks pretty good through here. The drain plug looks good after I clean all the goop out of it. So the only thing I saw wrong was a crack over here, right through here. I don't know how that happened, but you can see the spiderweb crack right there. Or something hit it. Something hit right here. You see some kind of a, looks like maybe a tooth broke off and nailed in there or something off the kicker gear. Who knows? Something hit there pretty damn hard. This has been all replaced, so evidence of previous issues. So it's not enough to worry about, but it is in there. Alright. So this is all the other parts over here. This is pretty, beads everywhere. Yeah. Get that clean workbench all dirty. Should never put a case with beads on anywhere near your assembly area. Not going to work on this stuff, that's why I'm leaving it there. Okay. So we're going to be putting a high gear in here. With that seal in it, I talked about earlier. Junk pile. Main shaft to go with it. Alright, so there's your new parts. Here's that O-ring I talked about. It goes on the spacer. 45 junk. Alright, so that's what we're doing there. Okay, this here has been worn quite a bit right here. So we're going to replace that with a new one. I got a couple variations of these to choose from. 3 different ones laying here. We got the official V-twin one here. And I got 2 other aftermarket ones to choose from. And those 2 are probably the same. Nope, 3 different vendors. Midwest, Mid-Year, and V-twin. These fit everything, this only fits early. They look like they're the same. So I'll be comparing those to see if there's any difference. I don't believe there is. I got the correct push rod here, which has the taper tip to it. Instead of this one here, which had the cup style one that went on here, and it's just worn. So, there's a difference in length, not much. But this is the correct one. So this goes in the junk pile. This is junk. This here we're replacing it, as you can tell, so that goes in the junk pile too. Okay, this is the new kicker cover. We'll be putting this in there. 2 hands there. Okay, this one's been welded before. This one here, pretty good job. But this one has the threads are stripped out in here. I don't know if you can see it, but you go through the first thread and a half, then they go away, and then they come back again. I don't know if you can see the difference in height in the camera, but anyway, they're not the best. So those are bad. So this starts fresh, no problem. So we got to transfer over the shaft here and all that stuff, and then we'll change out the finger too with one of those. So that's all this stuff here got to be dealt with. Okay, this is the old bearing after I cleaned it. They mostly sound like this when they're dry, but it's a little rough. So I'm going to put a new one in there, right here. So this one's a single shield. We'll open on one side. This was double shielded. Okay, this here was had a lot of issues right through here. You can see the rust marks all through here where it's supposed to seal. So we'll get rid of that. So I got this one here. And then I got this one over here. 2 different ones to choose from. Alright, I need some help. I need 2 hands. Can't work all day with only 1 hand. It's hard to do. Alright. So, these I got probably 50 of these. These are the old ones I used to use all the time. Appears to be rusty. Oh yeah, that's a good one. I think we're not going to use this particular one. So is there any difference in these things? Appear to be the same except for the rust part. So even though these are new parts don't always look new. So this one probably came off of eBay. Or some shop I bought out. So this one here is not very good. Good for my bike, but not customer bike. I don't care about that kind of stuff on my bike. Okay, so now obviously there's a difference in height in here. I don't know why. I've never seen one that's like this where it's short. That looks the same overall height there. Yeah, I have no idea what they were doing here. That's weird. Yeah, I've never seen that before in my life. So here's the spring that goes on there. See how the spring is wider than the shoulder is? See on this one's the same? That's how it's supposed to be. This groove here is what holds the spring. Oh, this is weird. No more reason not to use it. Okay, so we're going to upgrade that. Okay, we're not using a high gear now. All kinds of stuff now. Okay, you can see where the teeth are starting to pecker out a little bit in here. So low gear is not super bad about that. Second gear over here looks fairly smooth. Check it both directions. Just the coast side, the other side is the pressure side. Alright, so this gear looks good. Our shift forks were used, but they looked alright. Our shift dog here is good. Lock tab, no, not so good. Nut still has threads on it, so it should be good. Kicker gear has got some wear here. You definitely see it. See, it's starting to not work anymore. So this one here is getting ready to be replaced. And this is also really thin looking. Kind of weird looking. I don't recall them being this thin. Something's going on with these parts. need to see about that. I think we got another weird oddball part there. So let me go over here and grab a new one. Junk box over here. There's one. Yep, they are thin. Okay. Just look different there. So this is going to be a toss-up on whether to use this or not. See how the ramps have no indents in them? This one's already digging in, which means the next thing is going to not kick the gear over. It's going to get worse, not better. So this one here is getting to the point it's going to start being a problem, but it's not quite there yet, but short term it will be. Just a kick only bike, so it's probably time to get rid of it. Where's the other gear at? This gear here is the one that comes around and hits it. So this is spring loaded on this side. Comes around like that, and it's supposed to kick back like that. See how it rolls back? And when they start digging in right here, then they start riding this ramp up here and they don't disengage. And the kicker don't come up all the way. So that's what happens on these things. So what I've been doing, I've been going here and grinding these surfaces away so they're not so sharp. So whoever made this one put little chamfer marks on there, which is good. But they didn't get to right here on the edge in the corner, knock off the high spots. They're still sharp right there. So I think this one's ready to go. Bye-bye. This hasn't been in there very long either. Same diameter. So I think we're going to put a new one in it. The other problem is the bushing was pretty bad on the other shaft. And this one's still pretty loose too. So I don't think I'm going to have this bushing in stock. They got big, large diameters and small diameters. I only have the small ones in stock right now. So let's see what we got here. It's hard to measure it this way, but something around 960. These are Jim's bushings, that are old ones. These are small diameter, which is how they used to make old gears. New gears are different. These probably fit genuine Harley gears from way back when. See the difference? So this is not going to work. You can look at the thickness of the bushing. You can see how this one's obviously thicker than this one. I've got to replace that gear too because I don't have any bushings and we need to get this job done. Computer says I got 3 bushings, but there's none to be had. Okay, where's the other gear at? By the time you buy a bush and put it in there, it's about the same cost of a gear anyway. Okay, so here's a gear. There's a new one. See how it's a lot tighter. It's almost no clearance, but it spins free. That's what you want. Alright, so that's a nice new one. See how sharp these teeth are here? So I got to go and chamfer every one of these gear teeth with a grinder. These little 3-inch disc grinder. Go in there and chamfer all these and radius them around to take the sharp edges off. So when they come up against the ramps right here, hopefully they don't chew them up. I haven't seen any of the ones since I've been started doing that this year, but that's a good and a bad thing, right? They haven't come back yet, so maybe it works. So we'll play with this too. Alright, everything I do is just more work, see? Okay, on the counter shaft. wasn't sure what I wanted to do on this one. Is that just discolor from the oil, or is it actually acid etched? If it's acid etched, we're changing it. If it's just discolored, then it doesn't matter. Hear that? Hear my thumb catching it? So it's got, there it is, you can see it. It's a pit right there. It's flaking out. Hard to see it, but thumbnail doesn't lie. Alright, so I was in doubt whether to change or not. No doubt now, it's junk. That's what happens when they get acid etched, they start to pit out in that spot. So you have a brand new one right here. There you go. Nice machining. Look at that. Grinding marks. Can't feel it, you can see it. Alright, so there's a new shaft we'll be putting in. Okay, this here is the seal spacer I talked about. The secondary part of the main oil leak on the Harley. So here's the one here. See how there's a groove in it? This has no groove on it, see? Next problem. The problem we have though, see the OD is different. This does not sit inside of the cork. So you have to turn the diameter down to fit inside the cork. Or not put the cork in there. That's up to you. What the cork does, it goes in the case. It goes in here. And it seals the seal on the back side of the seal. So even if you got a groove on the outside of the case, the oil won't come out because it's sealed on the inside. So the seal has a seal. Does that make sense? So it doesn't matter what the OD of the case, because these cases get pretty chewed up from people peeing on them, yanking seals out, and doing all kinds of weird crap to them. So the cork is your first defense for stopping leakage. So I usually put them in. So when you do that, you got to turn down that race or it won't fit. So you want to know how much it's going to be turned down? Tell you. So here's the original one, 2.219. Here's the new one, 307. So that's 90 thou roughly. So you want to know for sure how much it is? We got 220 this time. Zero it. 83 thousandths. There you go. So you cut 83 off of it. So that's how you tell what you're going to do. There's 84 that time. Alright, so we're going to cut that to fit. So I'll keep this original out so I can measure it and make it the same. So that needs to be worked on. Okay, the early throwout bearings are pretty bulletproof. They're ball bearings in here. You push down on them against your fingers here, and you feel them. If they feel nice and smooth and not too pitted, you're good. This has some wear. Can't really feel it. You can hear the grinding, but not the chunkle in it. It's good enough. This surface here looks good, so we're fine. So we're going to reuse that. Here's our other shift fork. We're going to reuse it. There's our race. Appears to be a good fit, so I'm going to reuse it. Here's our lock tab. Not lock tab, locking plate. That's our kicker stop. It'll still work. I'm alright with it. Here's our third gear. Once again, we check the teeth, make sure there's nothing wrong with them. Check the one side, and you flip it and check the other side. This side doesn't have as much wear on it because it's the coast side. It only works when you're downshifting. This is your acceleration side, a lot more rare. No pits. Shift dogs are good and sharp. I'm good with it. Here's our low gear. The matching gear has issues already. This one looks okay. It's machine mark, not wear mark. They're rough hob marks and not. These are gear cut and not ground, so you can see all the machine marks in it. Okay, dogs look good, so we're going to keep this one. This is good. Here's a little ratchet gear. Still in good condition, so I'm not going to swap it out. I get all this flaky crap off of here though. Shaft is good. This is our thrust washer. You can see how blue it is. It means it had heat in it. It looks like it's heat and not oil deposits because it's blue. That means it was put together too tight. Had a lot of input or a lot of side thrust on the gears for some reason. Who knows what it was, but if it's the right size, I'll reuse it. If it's not, I won't. Okay, so all this stuff is good. Use it. Okay, here is our cluster gear. Gotta look at all 3 rows of teeth as we're spinning it. This side looks good, and the speedo gear looks good. This side here. Everything's looking good so far. It spun good before. The dogs are good and sharp. So we're good to go. Now you look inside of here, make sure there's nothing going on. Put your finger in there, feel it. You can usually feel stuff better, you can see it. So if you got a nail, run your nail in there. Run right along the edge here. Like I said, you might catch it like we did on the counter shaft, not see it, but you'll feel it. Your thumbnail will catch into it or whatever. It's a foolproof check. So everything looks good on this, so this part's good. Here's a missing washer that was not on the kicker. It goes like this. The chamfer side here goes against the shoulder because it might not be square cut. This is square cut. That goes in there like that. So that gives you your thrust washer so it doesn't eat up the case and the bushing. So we'll be putting one of these in there. Alright, so that's how you do all of that. Find out what's good and what's not good. This is our small parts in here. So some of the stuff we'll be using, some of it we won't. Here's your washers again. A lot of this stuff is hot. Got a lot of heat marks in it for some reason. It's also been sitting in dirty oil because it's got a lot of oil marks. So I don't know why there's so much thrusting going on, but it is. As far as I know, I'm reusing all this crappy looking screws. Until I've been told otherwise. We're changing out the case studs for new ones though. So we got 2 different lengths of new ones. This length. See, that one's shorter. So they're shorter than all of these. There's usually 2 different lengths of studs in the Harley cover case. Here's the short one. See how this stud is longer than the short one. So this is a little bit shorter. So this is the length we used to get. This is the length from another manufacturer. See how they change. This is the new length we get from the said manufacturer. They can't seem to sell you the same part each time. So this is the one we used to get. This is the one we get now. See how they're an 1/8 inch shorter? So, and then this one is shorter than this one. Another 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch. So just by changing what you're doing, you get different lengths. Okay, so here is our new length. Okay, see how this stud here is the same length as the short old studs. So we're going to wind up using all of these because we're not putting anything else in the kicker cover except nuts. So we should be able to use these short studs with no problem. But either way, I got multiple bags. I have bagfuls of each length. It would just be nice if these manufacturers stabilize what they're going to sell you, so we don't have to guess. So I got 3 different lengths of studs. We'll figure out which ones we're going to use. Let's see. The other thing we had bad, we had the shift dog was bad for the high gear, which I didn't see. Oh, there it is. I missed it. Okay. So this one here is getting a little bit worn right through here. So they're starting to round off. Third gear side is not, had a little wear too, not too bad. High gear side is more worn. Not real bad, but it's getting there. But we're putting a brand new gear on it, so I'm going to put a new one on. Starter clutch. That is not a dog, that is a starter clutch. That'd be the piece that goes on that. Okay, so I got to go get me one of these. I thought this was the box here, but it wasn't. So I'll dig me up a good reproduction one of those, and that'll take care of that. So there we go. That's how you do all this, figure out what you're going to do. So I got a pretty good idea what's going on now. Just have a lot of fitting to do. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and get some JB oil mixed up and start gooping up this case. I'm going to JB weld all these surfaces on top of these studs here and let it sit overnight so that we will have a good seal. Alright, so I'm going to go work on that next. We'll be back.